If you're a student, these 5 things will get you more A's with less effort. After over 8 years of coaching students one to one, getting them into Ivy League schools, getting them all A's, 1600s, getting them internships, we've put together the 5 most impactful things to get your student all A's with less effort. So let's dive in. What are the 5 things that'll get your student flooding in with A's with less effort? The first one is mentors. Zach, tell us a little bit about mentors.
All right, so for mentors, there's really no shortcut here. We see people, the greatest people on earth in terms of different subcategories, such as, let's say, sports. We have Michael Jordan, we have Kobe Bryant, Kyrie Irving. Michael Jordan mentored Kobe Bryant. The reason why he was so good is because he learned from Michael Jordan. Kobe Bryant, he was mentoring Kyrie Irving as well. So you see, these three players, they didn't just automatically become good. They were learning from the best of the best. And this doesn't only work with sports, it also works when it comes to business. You see, Steve Jobs, he was mentored by Bill Gates. So we got to really think about it. All of these great top people are getting mentored by the best people. So why aren't you?
1000%. At the end of the day, if you want your student flooding in with A's with less effort, the easiest, least effort way for that is to place them with mentors. But how do you actually do that? How do you find the right quality Ivy League mentors that you can actually trust to place with your child? See, this is where Ignite Test Prep comes in. Ignite has 8 years of experience working only with the best of the best Ivy League coaches and directly placing them with a lean team of students. Now, remember, Ignite does not work with everyone. If we can identify that your student has what it takes, then we'll allow them into our lean team of specialists and carry them all the way to the top. Now, obviously, if you don't have access to a program like Ignite, what you're going to want to do is source the highest quality Ivy League mentors for your children. And it won't be easy, but this is our criteria when it comes to mentors. First thing is results. There's no replacement for this. Mentors need to have 1500 plus on their SAT. Ideally, to be honest, 1600, because you don't want to take any risks when it comes to coaching your child for the SAT. First thing is the mentor needs results. The second thing, the mentor needs communication abilities. They need the ability to translate what's in their mind to the people who they're speaking with. So often you see mentors who are in grade schools like Yale, Harvard, but they can't actually communicate with students. They're not charismatic. That makes it a complete no go. Your student is going to be falling asleep on those lessons. And then the third thing is reliability. You don't want a mentor that can just deliver quality lessons 1 day a week. You want a mentor who can show up every time you need them so then they can give you the results over weeks and months. So that's why mentors are an absolute critical thing that you need to place your child with. Gonna get you easy A's, less effort. Because at the end of the day, where would Mike Tyson be without a mentor? Where would Muhammad Ali be without a mentor? Where would Usain Bolt be without a mentor? Your child needs mentors. This is the number one most important thing. But second is a system.
Exactly. So the second thing you're going to need other than a mentor is a system. So a system, this means we're going to have stuff such as a calendar that keeps track of all the upcoming due dates, tests, quizzes, assignment habits, and just everything you've worked on in the past. For example, let's say for APUSH, you're going to have a Google Doc that has everything that's worked for you in the past when it comes to the DBQs, the multiple choice questions, and everything like that. Let's say for math, you're going to be drilling practice problems every single time. You're going to make sure that you're getting this stuff and you're not getting any questions wrong. For bio, you're going to be going through homework questions. You're going to be going through the DBQs, the multiple choices, everything like that. You just need a system that's going to work because without a system, you're never going to see results.
1000%. The only thing that you can actually rely on at the end of the day, you can't rely on your own motivation. You can't rely on your student waking up every day feeling motivated, hungry, ready to conquer the day. The only thing you can actually rely on is your system and your habits, which means that if you know every day in your schedule there's a 1 hour meeting with your Ivy League mentor, you don't have anything to worry about. You don't need to feel motivated that day. You don't need any emotional push because it's already in your schedule. You already have that habit in place. because of your Ivy League system. See, this is something that we do with every single student who comes to us. We make sure that they implement a quality Ivy League system, a blueprint that makes sure that no matter how they're feeling, they never fall behind. This is why when our students get sick, when our students have other things going on like competitions, events, things that they're really working hard on, they don't allow any other area of their life to fall behind because we come in and we implement this system. Ivy League mentorship, 24/7 GPA support, resume development, internships. We do it all for them so that they don't need to do any kind of guesswork. There's no uncertainty. And at the end of the day, it's the same thing when it comes to athletics, when it comes to bodybuilding, when it comes to achieving anything in life. If you don't have a system, then you don't have guaranteed results.
Exactly. And so the third thing we're going to recommend is that all students start looking into audiobooks. And the reason why I'm saying this is because audiobooks have a way to synthesize long form just production into something that you could just listen to. You could listen to it on your way to school, you could listen to it while you're eating, anything like that. You don't have to put too much attention into it because you're directly hearing it. So we highly recommend that you start using audiobooks because this is gonna just boost your learning and you're gonna be getting so much information without even trying.
1000%. If your student is learning bio, you have to remember they're going to take an AP test at the end of the year. So, what's going to help them condense all this long? Because have you seen the AP bio textbook? It's very, very long. The key is what we recommend with our students when they're learning that kind of dense, long information, break it up into audiobooks. We actually give all of our students Speechify. It's this audiobook kind of platform that allows you to play books at 3x speed, 4x speed. It allows you to use AI to change the speakers so that you can just put your earbuds in, get a quick workout while listening to an audiobook, while downloading high speed information directly into your brain, which basically allows our students to get studying in without having to sit down and sit in a library and just be there depressed. Nah, because our students, for example, one of our students, right, Robin, she's learning the AP Bio and she's getting ready for that test. We encouraged her to actually use audiobooks and we gave her the right list of audiobooks that allows her to, if she's on a walk, she can listen. And now she's getting content in for her upcoming unit test. So it's not just about one on one sessions with Ivy League mentors, it's about using the best materials that you have at your disposal. And we always recommend high speed audiobooks. Let's say you're an A push, listen to a high speed audiobook for whatever the A push curriculum you're learning. If let's say you're in chem, listen to a high speed audiobook about the chemistry content that you're learning in class. This stuff is gonna just you're gonna not even notice the effort you're putting in, but the results are gonna be coming to you easy and fast.
Exactly. So this is very important that you start learning this new method because it's really helping students. And so the fourth thing that we're going to talk about that we recommend is you start watching your nutrition. And so this is very simple but effective. We recommend that you start eating raw animal fats. Make sure you're eating breakfast every day with stuff such like eggs or just anything that contains protein because these are really going to help you, and you're gonna also have to make sure you're eating enough carbohydrates so you have that energy ready for the day. You're not sluggish. You're not sitting there wishing you were back in bed. We need to make sure that we are fully awake, fully ready to just soak in all the information that we need for the day. And the best way you're gonna do that is with energy. And the only way you could have energy is if you're eating right. Throw away all those cupcakes, throw away all those processed foods, and start eating healthy.
Exactly. So you got to think about it like this, like if your child is a Lamborghini, are you going to put in water into that Lamborghini and just expect it to run properly? Are you going to put in Sprite, Coca-Cola? But why is it that we understand this with vehicles? We don't understand this with our own children. Your child is not going to grow into his best self. He's not going to perform at his best potential if you're not feeding him the right nutrients. And so this is actually one of the things that's included in our black book as well. You can download that at ignitetestprep.com/black book. But your brain is nearly all fat, which means that if you're not eating a healthy amount of raw animal fats, you're not feeding your brain, which means your brain's not getting the nutrients that it needs to actually think properly, to actually concentrate, to do long hours of focused work. Which means your child, if you're letting him just eat fast food and then expecting him to study and do well in school, you're literally, that's like giving a child Coca-Cola and expecting him to be healthy. Like, we're making big mistakes out here. Instead, what you want to do is we actually put in our best nutritional information in our black book. So you want to go ahead and download that at ignitetestprep.com/black book. But overall, just make sure you're feeding yourself raw, healthy animal fats. You're having a healthy amount of protein, eggs, and really just prioritizing your nutrition. This energy is going to lead directly into better results in your life.
Exactly. So let's get into the final thing that we recommend. And this one is going to be a non negotiable. You got to listen to this one. And it's going to be your sleep. Every single student should be getting at least 8+ hours of sleep per night. And I can't stress this enough. This is very important because when you sleep, this is where you grow. This is where your brain grows. This is where your body gets that energy ready for the day. It's just like food. Without recharging yourself, you're never going to be able to perform well. You're going to be in class, you're going to be drowsy, sleepy. Uh, Everything you listen to is going to be going in one ear and out the other. This is not what you want. So make sure you're sleeping at a good time. Make sure you're waking up at a reasonable time because without sleep, you're never, ever going to see the results that you're wishing for.
No, 1,000%. And listen, this is not a joke. We had a student come to us. Name was Ryan. Right? He was really struggling with A push and PSAT and just all of his classes. He said he couldn't focus, he couldn't concentrate, he couldn't get above a B in these classes. So when he came to us, what did we do? After implementing the right kind of system, which meant placing him with hours a week with our Ivy League mentors, one day here, one day there, just getting a solid schedule in place. The second thing we did is we took a look at his nutrition, his biological system. What is he putting into his system and how often is he sleeping? And what did we find? He was eating processed foods, the worst kind of junk food you could imagine. And the worst of all, he was sleeping 3 to 4 hours every night. Literally, not just our Ivy League coaching, but the implementations we did with his nutrition and sleep that took his concentration to a different level. It was like he had a supercharged engine rather than a failing one. And so that was one of the reasons why we were able to get him all A's last semester, get him that PSAT score that he wanted, and now he's just crushing it in school. So, parents, students, we have all the sauce, but don't forget to take care of your body. Don't forget to sleep. All of this is just going to go hand in hand with getting you the results that you want and ultimately getting you into your dream school.
Exactly. So make sure you go to ignitetestprep.com/blackbook, get that black book, and it's going to give you all the secrets to make sure your child is supercharged and going to their dream school. We'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for listening.